Welcome to Made for More podcast, where faith and personal growth converge. I'm Julia, and I'm honored to guide you on a journey of empowerment and transformation alongside our occasional co-host, Omar. We are passionate believers and advocates for unlocking your God-given full potential. Join us as we explore the intersection of faith, life, business, and relationships, igniting a fire within to embrace the truth that your life is destined for greatness. Together, we'll uncover strategies, insights, and stories that inspire and equip you to become the best version of yourself. Get ready to embark on a fulfilling quest towards personal and professional fulfillment, guided by faith and the unwavering belief that you, my friend, are made for more. Hey, sister friends and guy friends, we're back for another episode of Julia Keeps It Real. And it's kind of cool how this episode has kind of formulated, and has come to be, because I actually was supposed to record this episode about a week ago, and then it didn't happen. And then a couple of other moments have happened in life that just kind of reminded me about this concept. And I'm like, okay, this just means I got to bless some people with it and just do some reminders. And hopefully this will be a great episode to just get you to take some action in your life, whether that means in your business, whether that means in your health journey, whether that means in your faith journey, whether that means in your career, in your mom life, in your single life, whatever it is. This is the week. This is the day. This is the season. This is the year, sister, that you are going to take action. Okay. All right. So I literally was scrolling through my phone. How many of y'all do this? Like, okay, first of all, there's two types of people in the world. There's people that have like 0 to 10 email notifications. Like you have the 10 or less on your icon on your mail, right? And then there's people that have like thousands or hundreds of email notifications, right? Then there's people that have like a couple of hundred photos in your phone, because you actually do a really good job of deleting like the senseless and non-important photos, or like the screenshots that you just needed for that quick second. Like you do a great job of cleaning out your photos. And then there's people that have like 10,000 photos. Okay. I'm actually very type A in a lot of ways in my life, but when it comes to having a lot of photos, and honestly, usually 100 emails unchecked, because y'all, my AP life, I can get 50 emails in a day. So sometimes it's hard to clear them out. But I literally have thousands of photos. And so I will just sometimes scroll them and every now and then try to clean them out. And then sometimes I love that I have some photos. I'm like, I have no idea why this random photo is in here or why this random graphic is in here. But sometimes I love that I find it, and it just blesses my heart and my soul at that time, because it's like, I must have needed to see this graphic or this quote or this Bible verse or this picture or this moment or whatever. And today I actually saw a quote that said, if you're not changing it, you're choosing it. And I've posted it before, I'm sure I've mentioned it before, probably even. And when you sit in that thought a little bit, and I'm going to actually tie this into faith and taking action too, but so often in life, we complain about our situations, like, oh my God, like I just can't stand my belly fat, or oh my God, I just can't stand like my job. I just can't stand my finances and like where I am in my financial season, or I just can't stand being around certain people even. I like, sad to say, but that's reality, right? Like this is life. And so often we may complain, or if it's not complaining, we just don't like it, right? Like maybe you're not necessarily complaining about it, but you don't enjoy it. You don't like it. But yet, if we're not changing it, and if we're not actively trying to do something about it, we're choosing it. So if you're not actively trying to do better with your health, then you're choosing the body that you live in, and the weight that you have, and how you look, and the gut or whatever. If you're not actively working on finding better friends and protecting your circle and setting your boundaries, then you're choosing to be around those people that get on your nerves, or that make you mad, or that bring out certain traits in you. Like these are things you're choosing. If you are not wanting to level up in your business, or you're feeling stuck in your business and you're like, oh my God, like I can't seem to get to the next step, because those are things that you are actually choosing because you're not changing something else. Does this make sense? Like, y'all, this is like gold. If you literally take this quote and apply it to the areas of life that you need to apply it, it will be a game changer for you in certain things. Because once I started changing things and being strategic about what I was changing, things started to improve. So I'm gonna say it one more time. If you're not changing it, you're choosing it. So if you're not changing your financial situation, you're choosing it. If you're not changing your ranks and your titles in your business, you're choosing it. If you're not changing your relationship status and who you're with and how you're feeling, you're choosing it. If you're not changing how you feel, whether you're depressed or have anxiety or you're stressed, you're choosing it. Okay. And I know that's to a degree. I'm not going to go into like, I know that could be heavy for some people. So I would say like that's to an extent, right? Because I know like mental health and wellness is a serious thing. So I don't want to, like, it just came across my mind to like pause for a moment and say, like, I know everybody's situations can be different, but a lot of times, let me just be real, a lot of times we can still choose to change our stress. We can still choose to change the anxiety. We can still choose to change the depression, the sadness, and things like that. And by changing that, it will change the feeling. And a lot of that to me honestly goes to going to prayer and going to the word and going to God about that in your situation when it comes to mental health and anxiety and depression. Because a lot of those things you might try to control and fix and change, and it might be difficult to do. And you might need God and Jesus to help you through that. Like there's no other way but to make that happen, but for him to make that happen. And so just want to put that out there. So, okay, I'm saying all this to say, okay, when I started thinking about that, okay, I started thinking about my own life and changes I've been making. And then it dawned on me, I originally wanted to have an episode about, like, if the desire is in your heart to do something, like, go do it. Like, go after it. Take the steps. But then also, before you go and take the steps and do it, pray about it and ensure that that desire is coming from a place that is a good place, that's going to make a great impact, that's going to advance the kingdom, that's going to make an impact, right? And if it's still in your heart and it's still a desire after you've prayed about it, like, and it's something that you like really, really want to do, stop staying stuck, stop choosing to be where you are and change it. Take the step, put some faith on it, and do the next thing. And a lot of times we stay in fear mode. Like, what if it doesn't work? What if people judge me? What if I tell people what I really want to do, I might fail? Or I know I want to do better in my business, but I don't want to go live. I don't want to do these reels. I'm going to look stupid. I'm like, oh, I'm an assistant principal. Y'all don't think I've thought about, like, what if my kids find me? And they do, trust me. They've been like, I found you on TikTok. I'm like, okay, great, cool. Did you give me a like? Okay, cool. It's like, I just move on with my life, right? Especially when I was in middle school, because they actually are way on social media more, right? Or parents, like I have so many parents that have found me on social media online. But when you just own it, like when you're just like, this is who I am, this is what I'm going for, this is my heart's desire, these are things I want to do, and you are so in tune with your purpose, so in tune with your why, nothing else matters. So start thinking about, what is it that is in your heart's desire? If it's in your heart's desire to go hard in your business, if it's in your heart desire to be a better mom, if it's in your heart's desire to have a better health journey, if it's in your heart's desire to break that addiction, if it's in your heart's desire to rise above like the generational curses and the cycles that you've had to break through, or to go to the next level in your life, like, hey, I'm tired of being in this home, I'm tired of being in this financial situation, like I'm ready for this next thing. If it's in your heart's desire to start a podcast, if it's in your heart's desire to write a book, if it's in your heart's desire to like sing a song and put it on the radio, I don't know, like whatever it is, take those steps, right? Because at the end of the day, the enemy really wants fear to get in the way of us taking action, right? Like God did not give us the spirit of fear. And I have to remind myself that quite often, right? Like every time, like I literally just had a bug in my house. I know this is very a small example, but just a real example, y'all. A bug that is literally an inch long, like not even an inch long and a half an inch wide. And I'm like screaming like a baby in fear of a freaking bug that I could squish and spat and be done with. And I shouldn't even, like, it shouldn't even get my heart rate up. It shouldn't even make my blood pressure rise, but literally bugs will do that to me. And I'm like, ah! Okay. Certain bugs for sure. Okay. And all of a sudden I'm like, wait a minute. This is a small little June bug. I don't know if that's what y'all call those little June bugs. And I'm bigger than this thing. And I don't know what I'm afraid of. Like, why do I fear the stupid bug? Like, I didn't want to like smush it or whatever. I just got a broom and like, let's get this thing out the house. So I like, it's something small like that. But y'all, we go through our day in fear a lot, right? If you really assess and reflect and think about your life, and I pray that y'all are not as fearful as me in a lot of situations, but we don't do a lot of things because we're scared. And I do know that a lot of times it's because we're wired to protect ourselves, right? Like we're wired to like, yeah, maybe I shouldn't jump off that building because I might die. Yeah, maybe I probably shouldn't jump off a perfectly good airplane because it's like not meant for that. Like, and I know people do that, right? I get it. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I understand why God gave us fear and like, or not gave us fear, but like, I understand why we have a natural instinct of fear because it is to protect us. But he did not give us a spirit of fear because he is with us. Okay. So the enemy wants us to use that fear to get us to not take action. So it's like his best thing because he's like, if Julia rises to her full level, watch out. If whoever you are listening rises to his or her full level, I better put some fear. I better like let them not take action. Because the moment they realize that they're just afraid of nothing, the moment they realize that if they take some bold faith and just put some work into that like they can actually do the things, it's over. And so I just want you to think about that. In the book of James in the Bible, it literally says faith without works is dead. And so again, if the desire is in your heart and you prayed about it and you worked that out and it's still there, go after it. I truly am, even though I'm in a season of surrender, I can't just surrender and just like lay on the ground. Be like, hey God, just give everything to me. I'm surrendering it all to you. I still have to put forth the action. I still have to put forth the works in the faith and the trust that I have in him. So I hope this is something that is going to help you make that next step. Because honestly, one thing that I heard actually recently too, in a church service was the pastor saying, faith doesn't eliminate or get rid of fear. Okay. Like we're still human. Okay. We're still going to have some of that. Like I said, like there's going to be times where you're going to have to do it scared still a little bit. Right. So faith doesn't eliminate it, like, and get rid of it completely necessarily, but it's going to override it. Okay. It's kind of like whenever you're driving in a car and you put something on an autopilot, like you could always hit the brakes if you need to, but it's coasting, it's overriding what you're doing. And that's what the faith is all about. And so I want you to put some faith in something this week. What, like literally before you like go do something else, before you move on to the next thing, I want you to truly sit in your thoughts for a second and think, me too, I'm doing this with you. What is something that you could put a little bit more faith in this week going forward, but not only a little bit more faith into, a little bit more work and action with it as well. So if it is to start that podcast, what steps and actions can you take? If it is to get to that next level in your business, if it is to get that new recruit, what are those faiths or what is that action that you can take? If it's to lose the weight, what's that action you can take? If it's to have better finances, what's that next action that you could take that goes along with that faith? I have been writing the same like statements for several years. And it's really cool because some of those statements have changed over time and some of them have been very consistent. And y'all, some of those statements are just now coming into fruition. But I've been putting in the action. I've had the faith. And I'm like, I don't know when it's going to be. I don't know when this actual thing that I envision, like that I feel like God is telling me, like, this will happen for you. These will be things that are coming, right? It's here. Like, I'm speaking this into existence in a way, right? I'm going to put faith in this. But not only that, I'm going to do the work. I'm going to be the person I want to be that needs to be the person that's debt free. I'm going to be the person I need to be the person that travels the world. I'm going to be the person I need to be to have a top ranked podcast. I'm going to be the person I need to be to have the financial amount of money that I want to earn. I'm going to be the person I need to be a loving wife and mom in the future, right? So I hope these things make sense to you guys. And I hope this episode blesses you. I love y'all. And I hope you guys have a great rest of y'all's day.